welcome back to our channel. Stoic Mentor, let me ask you something real. Have you ever looked at a guy who seems completely average, nothing flashy, not rich, not a smooth talker, and yet women are drawn to him, and then there's you, you're thoughtful, you show up, you try, but somehow it always feels like you're the one chasing what gives. It's not your looks, it's not your bank account, and it's definitely not about being the nice guy. It's your presence, it's the energy you carry, or don't. It's how you walk through the world with conviction or with need. See, attraction isn't about doing more, it's about being more grounded, more intentional, more you. That's where Stoicism enters the picture, not as an old philosophy from dead men in robes, but as a living force inside you, a quiet power that says, I don't chase, I lead. And today I'm going to show you 10 Stoic truths that will shift your mindset and your love life forever. Because when you master this way of being, you don't have to chase women. They start to feel pulled towards you. So take a breath, get centered. This isn't just another dating video. This is your turning point. Let's begin. Number 1, how female attraction really works. Here's the first truth you have to accept. Attraction doesn't begin in her head, it begins in her heart. A woman doesn't fall in love by weighing pros and cons like she's comparing phone plans. She doesn't sit there saying, well, he's stable, he's kind, he opens doors. Yeah, I guess I'll fall for him. No, she feels it or she doesn't. She falls for how you make her feel, not for your resume. So why does one guy get ghosted while another, less good-looking, less accomplished, has her texting, thinking, chasing? Because he makes her feel something. He makes her feel alive, curious, drawn in. He activates something inside her. And the other guy, he's safe, predictable. 2, easy to figure out, nice but forgettable. See, most men make the mistake of trying to earn a woman's affection by being overly nice, always available, always agreeable, always giving. And while that might get you a few polite smiles or friendly texts, it won't stir the kind of desire that keeps her up at night thinking about you. But Stoicism, it teaches us something completely different. Be the man whose presence speaks louder than his words. Be the man who doesn't need approval because he already carries his own. When you own your value, when you walk into a room knowing who you are and what you stand for, you don't have to impress anyone. They feel it, and she will feel it. That quiet confidence, that grounded energy, it's intoxicating. So here's your shift. Stop trying to earn her attention. Start being the man who naturally commands it, because when you're deeply in tune with your worth, you don't have to chase, you attract. Number 2, master Stoic control with women. So now you understand attraction isn't earned through logic, it's felt. And one of the deepest feelings a woman craves safety, not just physical safety, but emotional steadiness. Imagine this, you're on a date, things are flowing, then suddenly she throws a curveball, a little jab, a teasing challenge. Maybe she mentions another guy she's talking to. Most men, they flinch. Their energy shifts. They get defensive or worse. They scramble to prove their worth. Wait, what do you mean by that? Are you saying, I'm not good enough in that moment? They lose their frame, and just like that, respect fades. But the Stoic, he doesn't flinch. He smiles, takes a breath. He meets tension with presence, not panic, because he understands something most men never learn. A woman will test you, not because she's cruel, but because she wants to feel your strength. She wants to know, can this man hold his ground? Can he lead? Even when the moment gets uncomfortable, can he carry himself without crumbling under pressure? That's where Stoic control becomes magnetic. Think about James Bond. It's not just the suit or the swagger, it's his composure. The building could be burning, bullets flying, and he's still cool, still grounded, still sipping his drink. That kind of calm, it's rare, and that's what makes it irresistible. Respond instead of reacting. Breathe instead of breaking lead, instead of pleading. Because every time you stay centered, when most men would spiral, you don't just attract her, you earn her respect. And respect is the foundation for everything lasting. So the next time she tests, you smile, relax, stay in your power, not to win her over, but because you're not here to be shaken, you're here to lead. Number 3, create emotional tension that hooks her. So now that you've anchored yourself in Stoic control, let's talk about something just as powerful, emotional tension. You want to know the secret behind obsession. It's not expensive dates. It's not texting her good morning every single day. It's not even how much you like her. It's tension, emotional, subtle, unspoken but undeniable. Think about your favorite show, the one you binge. Why do you keep hitting next episode? Because they never give you full closure. They leave you on a cliffhanger, a question, a moment that feels unfinished. That's what pulls you back. And guess what? Women are no different. They don't chase the man who gives them everything up front. They chase the man who gives them just enough and leaves them wanting more. But this isn't about playing games. It's not about being cold or withholding. It's about balance, warmth, with just a hint of unpredictability, confidence, with a spark of mystery, presence, with enough space for her imagination to breathe when she's wondering, what's he thinking, or is he feeling the same thing I am? That wondering creates emotional tension. And that tension, it's the spark that keeps her mind circling back to you. Here's how you create it. Don't always respond instantly. Let her wonder for a moment, not because you're trying to win, but because you have a life, a purpose, a mission on a date. Instead of over-complimenting her, tease her lightly, playfully make her laugh, then pause, let her lean into the silence. And when the vibe is good, don't rush to define it. Let it build, let it simmer. Because attraction isn't built in the comfort zone, it's built in that edge where certainty and curiosity meet. So if you want her thinking about you when you're not around, don't flood her with attention. Create space, create moments. Let tension do its quiet magic. That's the power of emotional gravity. And when you master it, you'll never chase again. Number 4, trigger her deepest positive emotions. Now that you understand the power of tension, let's talk about what keeps her coming back, not just to you, but to the feeling of you. Because here's something most men don't realize. Emotions are everything. They're like fingerprints, unique, vivid, unforgettable. And once you become the source of certain emotions in her life, she doesn't just like you, she craves you. Think about it. She won't remember every word you said, but she'll remember how you made her feel. She won't recall every detail of your story, but she'll remember the laughter, the spark, the energy between you. That's your power. And here's the twist. It's not about impressing her with fancy dinners or rehearsed lines. It's about being intentional in creating emotional experiences instead of, you're so pretty. Say you've got this energy about you tonight. Hard not to notice. One is generic. The other, it lands. It reaches her. Now let's go deeper. Want to build curiosity? Don't lay out every detail of your plans. Say, I've got something fun in mind for tonight, you'll see. Let her anticipate, let her wonder, let her feel the thrill of the unknown, want to bring joy. Tell her a story that lights you up. Share laughter that's real. Bring her into a spontaneous moment, even if it's just taking a random turn on the road and saying, let's see where this goes. People don't fall for people, they fall for experiences. And when you're the man who makes her laugh, who makes her feel seen, who makes her feel alive, you become so much more than just a man. You become a memory, a moment, a feeling she wants to relive again and again. So don't just show up, elevate the moment, make it matter. Because when she connects you to joy, excitement, curiosity, and warmth, you're not just in her thoughts, you're in her nervous system. And brother, that's when she starts to chase you. Before we jump into partner 5, take a moment to do me a small favor, hit like, subscribe, and share this message. Your simple action can help more people who are struggling with this issue find the content they need. Thank you for being a part of this number 5 push-pull, Secrets for Instant Attraction. So far, we've explored emotional presence, tension, and the power of making her feel. Now let's talk about the dance, the rhythm that holds it all together, push and pull. This isn't a tactic, it's not manipulation, it's natural polarity, the ebb and flow that keeps attraction alive. Think of it like breathing. You inhale, you exhale, you lean in, you lean back. And when done right, this rhythm creates emotional momentum. And let's break it down. You're having a great conversation with her. The energy is high. She's laughing, you're vibing. Then you say, this has been fun, but I've got to bounce. Let's pick this up later. That's a pull. A pause, it creates space. And in that space, she starts to feel something new. Longing, curiosity, desire. You've given just enough to light the flame, but you didn't smother it. Most men don't understand this. They either give too much, flooding her with attention, compliments, validation, or they pull back too hard, becoming cold, distant, hard to read. But the Stoic, he moves with intention like sunlight. He warms but never overwhelms. He knows how to tease, then retreat to connect, then let go, not to control her, but to stay centered in himself. And here's the magic. When you create this rhythm, she doesn't feel like your attention is free and endless. She feels like she's earning it. And when someone earns your energy, they value it more. Want an example? On a date, lean in, look into her eyes, and say something. Like, "You're kind of dangerous, I might be in trouble here." Then lean back, smile, shift the subject. What you've done is give her a moment of intensity, followed by a return to calm. That contrast, unforgettable. So remember, this is a dance, not a sprint, not a performance. Be the man who knows how to give and the man who's unafraid to pause. That rhythm, that balance. It's what keeps her emotionally invested. Sing. And coming back for more. Number 6, use fear and desire to build chemistry. Right now, we're entering deeper waters. If you followed this far, you're already ahead of most men. But if you want to truly stand out, if you want to awaken a kind of connection that sticks in her mind and her soul, you have to understand the two forces that drive almost everything we do, fear and desire. Let's start with fear. Not fear in a toxic way, not control, not intimidation. Never that we're talking about healthy fear, the fear of loss, the subtle awareness that if something isn't cherished, it might slip away. If a woman senses that your attention is unlimited, always available, always guaranteed, she'll begin to take it for granted. But when she feels that your time is precious, when she sees that your life is full, that you don't need her, that you choose to give her your energy, that's when she starts to treasure it. Now pair that fear of loss with desire, and you've created emotional gravity, because desire on its own isn't enough. She can want you, but if she knows she has you on demand, there's no tension, no edge, and fear on its own is just anxiety. But when you blend them, desire for something rare and the subtle fear of losing it, that's when you become unforgettable. You become the man. She doesn't just like, she values you, craves you, respects you. But listen closely, because this is everything. Never come from manipulation. This isn't about withholding love to play games. It's about living with such self-respect, such clarity of purpose, that your energy becomes earned, not given freely to just anyone. Let her want to stay. Not because you made her afraid to leave, but because you've created something worth staying for. That's Stoic leadership, that's emotional maturity. And that's what sets you apart from every man still stuck chasing validation. Number 7, why mystery makes you irresistible. Let's talk about one of the most underestimated forces in attraction: mystery. Ever notice how the things we don't fully understand are the ones we can't stop thinking about? It's true with books, with movies, with people. What's hidden pulls us in. And when it comes to relationships, mystery isn't about being secretive or cold. It's about being intentional with what you reveal. And when think of yourself like a well-written novel, you don't dump the entire plot in the first chapter. You unfold slowly, deliberately, one layer at a time. That's what keeps her reading. That's what keeps her invested. Now, let's say she asks you, so why are you still single? Most guys fumble into a long explanation. They overshare, they justify. But the Stoic, he smiles, sips his drink and says something like, haven't met anyone who made me want to change that yet. Short, confident, intriguing. That's not arrogance. That's composure. That's value. That's a man who knows he doesn't owe his entire story to someone he just met. See, when you share selectively, you signal something powerful, that your inner world is valuable, that it must be earned, not accessed by default. Mystery also lives in your actions. You don't explain every move. You don't broadcast every thought. You don't need constant validation. You live, you lead, you let her wonder. And when she wonders, she leans in, because what's unclear is irresistible. This is Stoicism in motion, not just calm under pressure, but confident in presence, unshaken, self-contained, not for show, but because that's who you are. So remember this, the man who's always an open book, he's read and forgotten, but the man who shares his story, one compelling chapter at a time, he becomes a page. She can't stop turning. Number 8, be emotionally available without weakness. Let's clear something up. Being emotionally available doesn't mean spilling your heart out on the first date. It doesn't mean turning every conversation into a therapy session. And it definitely doesn't mean bleeding out your struggles just to prove your deep, true emotional availability. It's not about oversharing, it's about sharing with strength. You let her earn your truth bit by bit, not because you're playing hard to get, but because your vulnerability has value. When you open up, it's not a cry for attention. It's a gift, a window into a man who knows himself, owns his past, and still stands tall. That's what makes her feel safe. That's what makes her lean in and trust you, because she senses something rare, a man who is in touch with his emotions but not ruled by them. So when she asks about your past, you don't dodge, but you also don't unload everything. You might say, yeah, I've been through some things, learned a lot, I'll tell you more sometime. That one sentence, it's calm, clear, controlled, and it pulls her in. Now, what about when she opens up? Most men make one of two mistakes. They either rush to fix everything, or they shut down, uncomfortable with her vulnerability. Don't do either. Just hold space, listen. Be present, let her feel heard. She's not looking for a solution, she's looking for stability, a rock she can trust when her world feels shaky. Here's the Stoic truth. You don't need to have the perfect words. You just need to stay grounded, rooted in your own emotional center, so you can weather hers. Because when you can be calm in her chaos, steady in her storm, you don't become her therapist, you become her anchor. And in a world full of emotional volatility, that kind of man is not just wanted, he's needed. Number 9, build unshakable self-worth. Let's get to the core. Here's a truth. Most men never fully grasp. She won't chase you because of what you give her, she'll chase you because of how you see yourself. Not in a flashy, egotistical way, but in a calm, unshakable, deeply rooted way that's called self-value. And no, it's not arrogance, it's inner abundance. It's the quiet confidence of a man who doesn't need attention to feel whole because he already is a man. Like, that doesn't chase, he invites. He doesn't put women on pedestals, he walks alongside them because he knows his worth is already set. So how do you build that kind of self-value? You start by building a life you respect. Retrain, create, pursue your goals with purpose, not to impress anyone, but because it feels right to you when you wake up, proud of how you spend your time. When your energy is focused on becoming the best version of yourself, you naturally give off something magnetic. You're not looking to get something from her, you're simply sharing the overflow of who you've become. And here's the key piece. You set boundaries not as a strategy, but as a standard. If she cancels on you last minute, you don't panic or beg to reschedule. You say, no worries, let me know when you're free. Then you go back to living your life. That alone, that calm detachment, is powerful because it tells her something without you ever saying it out loud. My time is valuable. My energy is sacred. I won't give it away to someone who doesn't respect it. That's not needy. That's not rude. That's irresistible, because in a world full of men chasing validation, you become the one who already has it within himself. And that's when she starts chasing you. Number 10, the power of emotional stability in love. Let's bring it all home. Yes, attraction gets the fire started, but what keeps it burning? Emotional stability. It's the difference between a fling and something real in today's world. People are constantly reacting, triggered by texts, pulled by moods like emotional ping-pong balls bouncing from one drama to the next. But the Stoic man, he's an anchor. He doesn't change with the weather. He's not kind only when things are easy. He's kind today, kind tomorrow, strong and calm, and even stronger under pressure. That kind of consistency, that stillness in a storm, it's what allows a woman to exhale around you, to trust you, to choose you, not just in the good times, but especially when things get hard. Because here's the truth, most men overlook when a woman feels safe emotionally. She opens up, she connects, she stays. And emotional stability isn't just about relationships, it's a superpower in every area of your life. In business, it helps you lead with clarity in family. It helps you show up when others fall apart. In brotherhood, it makes you the man others turn to. It's not about suppressing emotion, it's about being so in tune with your inner world that you don't get thrown off course by every wave that hits you. Pause, you breathe, you choose your response, and that's what sets you apart. Because while most men are ruled by their reactions, you become the man who creates safety, certainty, and direction. And when a woman senses that in you, she doesn't just feel attraction, she feels home. That's the power of emotional stability. That's the Stoic edge. And it's what turns a spark into something that never stops burning. Here's the truth, my friend, conclusion. Don't need to chase anyone. You just need to become the kind of man who walks with purpose, leads with calm, and lives with quiet, unshakable power. Because when you do that, she won't pull away. She'll lean in, drawn to the energy you carry, not the approval you seek. And if this message hit home for you, drop a comment below. I choose to lead, not chase. Then hit that subscribe button, because here at Wisdom Muse, we're not just learning how to love, we're learning how to live. Remember, you're not here to impress the world. You're here to transform it, starting with yourself. So stay on this path. Keep showing up, keep becoming. Let's grow, let's lead, let's thrive together.